All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Admit it, it feels like we've been away for a week. The last 4 or 5 days, they all felt like Saturday. Last Friday, July 4th, Saturday, Sunday. Everything it was crazy. Now we're back to normal. Now we're having fun. We got a lot to get to tonight. Texas Tech football making waves again, freaking out those people in college sports by, playing by the rules and doing what you can. Is Felix Ojo really a $5 million man? A great conversation I overheard this weekend about college towns. We asked the question, is Lubbock, Texas a college town? Why or why not? You tell us tonight. And Grant McCasland and Christian Anderson rule the college basketball and really the basketball international universe. Good, bad, and ugly recaps from the weekend. What did you like, love, hate, and everything in between? You know what to do. Get in right now. Give us thumbs up, share, all that stuff. Thanks to United Supermarkets on the United Supermarkets and Market Street chat line. After that, hey, it's up to you. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts tonight. We want to hear from you. Plenty of things to get to. It's football season right now, right? It is. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start your day with us every day. They're on the website. You check out the Raiderland hot links, really cool stuff. The coolest stuff you're going to see all day. And we bring it to you. Why? Because we love you so much. And, that's what we do every day. We bring you the coolest links from around Raiderland and beyond. We're brought to you tonight by Ultra Exteriors here in Lubbock, Texas. We had the big hailstorm. We had all the rain down. We had all this stuff going on. You're sitting there going, I got to get a roofing company. I got windows broken out, siding, house, fence, all this stuff. No, one call. Ultra Exteriors, Warren Taylor. One-stop shopping, baby. Give Warren a call. Warren Taylor at Ultra Exteriors. Tell him we sent you. And when he stops cackling with laughter, he'll be ready to go to work for you. Also by Sideline Provisions. Now, Sideline Provisions, great apparel company, founded, created by awesome Red Raiders. You guys probably know the backstory. But the front story is look as good or better than your team. In Lubbock, hit them up there at Quarter 4, the old Cardinal Sports Center. Online, we link to it on our site. Even this morning, if you go to the morning column, we find it. Or you can go to quarter4.net. I think it's .net. And look under Raider Apparel and drop down Sideline Provisions. All the cool hats, all the creative stuff, the Guns Up logo. You guys know what we're talking about. And, of course, everybody who gets in on the show tonight, you're doing that thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street, the one supermarket that supports Texas Tech and puts their name on it, puts their name on stuff. And there's another one that just sends their money down to Austin, puts it on scoreboards in there. So let's get it going tonight. All right, here are the questions. Here are the thoughts. Here's what we want to hear from on you. Is Lubbock a college town? The discussion I was hearing was not debating so much singular towns, but the idea of what exactly is a college town anymore. Yeah, Texas Tech is in Lubbock, but it's not 1930 anymore. It's not 1960 anymore. It's not 1980. Has Lubbock outgrown the moniker of college town? Is it a city with a university in it, or it's a college town? You tell me which one and why. What creates a college town? I've traveled all around the country doing Texas Tech sports and more. I've been in what I would consider college towns. And when I think of the term college town, I think of small communities where the only thing they have is the university, is the college. Manhattan, Kansas. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Oxford, Mississippi. Places like that. Ames, Iowa. Lubbock to me is so far removed from those communities. But do you consider Lubbock a college town? And then we have, over the weekend, Texas Tech gets the commitment from Felix Ojo out of Mansfield, the number 1 rated offensive tackle in the state of Texas, number 2 overall high school football recruit, class of 26. And immediately the discussions begin, well, how much did Texas Tech have to pay? Well, Texas Tech had to pay just like Miami had to pay for the number 1 overall offensive lineman, which was, according to reports, around $2.1 million on the Miami signing. Now, I think that was a one-year deal. But the question became, what is Texas Tech really laying out for Ojo? Is he a $5 million man? So On3 Sports, I think, was the first report. Then there were other reports that it was a 3-year deal. Love that. Get the high school guys locked in for 3 years, particularly offensive linemen. They're not going to the NFL, before 3 years. Grown men playing the NFL on the offensive line and on the defensive line, you don't go early. You're not a running back or a receiver. So I like that. But is it 5.1? Or is Texas Tech pushed back? I believe it was an ESPN column piece. It's really like $775,000 a year for 3 years on the guarantee side. All of this is exactly what goes on in the NFL every time a high-priced free agent and or deal is done. The agent goes to the media and says, my guy got $250 million. It's all guaranteed. It's great. It's everything. And then the club comes back and says, well, no, really. I mean, it's a great deal. This part's guaranteed and this is incentive and everything else. The agent wants it to sound great because he wants his client to look good, and he wants to look good because he wants other clients. Now, who would the agent be for Felix Ojo? Oh, that would be Nigeri Kennedy's agent and representation. So he's dealt with Texas Tech before on high-profile contracts, obviously. Do you really think he's going to get $5 million guaranteed out of Texas Tech? Alan, Lubbock is a shit kicker college city. That is the jewel of the plains. I don't know exactly what shit kicker college city means, but I hope that's good. It's one of the questions of the day. Is Lubbock a college town, yes or no? Do you view Lubbock as a college town? Is it different if you live in Lubbock versus outside of Lubbock? Maybe you went to Texas Tech in the, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. You've moved off. Maybe you live here now. Is it different if you live here, how you view Lubbock, versus if you live somewhere else and you moved off and you only come here a couple of times a year and everything you do is centered around Texas Tech? Every aspect of what you do. You're finding a B&B, Airbnb down by Tech. You're going to the game. You're going to this stuff. I got to go to Spanky's. I got to go to this around. Oh, man, Bashes. I got to go over here. There's a lot more to Lubbock than that. Not denigrating any of that stuff. So jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Easy to do tonight. That is Felix Ojo, really a $5 million man. I would say, well, we'll tell you what we think. And then basketball over the weekend. Grant McCasland with Team USA. International play wins the gold over Germany's team led by Christian Anderson. Anderson is a under-the-radar player no more. Fran Fraschilla doing a great job documenting it, chronicling it over the weekend. I could never find a way to watch it in the time I had, in the time frames I had, other than just some clips and everything else. But I think, people are beginning to see what Texas Tech saw and what Grant McCasland knew, that Anderson is a guy that you got to give $4 million to in the open market. You've got to make him the centerpiece of your team. There are people saying that right now, he is the best guard in the Big 12 Conference. We shall see. But he averaged about, 17, 18 points a game, another 9 assists, 5 rebounds or so, 4 steals during international play and against good competition, quality competition. Some of them older, some of them more experienced on the international realm. What's not to like? And we see, again, why the expenditure was made on Anderson. And there were some people saying, okay, if you're going to give him all this money, let some other guys walk. Well, I think maybe this proved out a little bit why they wanted to do it that way, why they wanted to have it happen that way. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Texas Tech football recruiting, the number 2 prospect, regardless of position in the state of Texas, committing to Texas Tech over the weekend in Felix Ojo out of Mansfield. Is he a $5 million man? And we're going to explain why what Texas Tech is doing is still ahead of the curve a little bit. And then Is Lubbock a college town? Yes or no? Is it too big to be a college town? How do you view it? You tell us. Get on the chat line. Brought to you by United Supermarkets. All right, let's go back to O for a little bit. What we're seeing here is Texas Tech is doing something very smart. Again, head of the curve, James Blanchard, that they're managing their allocation of assets and saying, you've really got Baron Morton pretty much on a rookie contract right now. You got your quarterback, not underpaid by any stretch of the imagination. You've got your running backs, kind of what we'd call in the NFL under rookie contracts. Not huge expenditure outlay on that skill position. You had Micah Hudson just begging to come back and having a place to play. So you're allocating your resources right now to the offensive line. And what's the most important position on the offensive line? It's offensive tackle. So you go out and you make the deal for Ojo and you get him in here. And then other players see that and go, hey, look how they're spending their money. They're not just taking that 75% out of the $22.5 million and giving it to the, quote, high-profile positions or the stars on offense or whatever. Look, they're spending on offensive linemen. Texas Tech is quite simply building the way good NFL teams build. And I'm working on trying to get the numbers maybe tomorrow on how NFL teams allocate percentage of salary cap by position. There's kind of a rule of thumb in the NFL on quarterback, by the way. Anything above 13% better be Patrick Mahomes. Anything above that on your cap percentage better be just like, and we're talking quarterback here. And people would say, wow, you would think, be higher than that. No. No, you got your offensive lineman, you got to take care of defensive lineman, rush edge, shut down corners. Then we get into the receiver, little less on the running back, and then we move back to linebacker, and then we move back to everybody else. Texas Tech is operating this right now exactly the way an NFL team would on asset allocation based on position. So is he going to get $5 million? I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. His agent wants you to think he's getting $5 million. Texas Tech pushing back on the marketplace saying, just like any good NFL team, just like any good GM would say, no. It's not really that much. I mean, we got this, we got that. So I think when Texas Tech put out the $775,000 a year for 3, I think that's probably the asset allocation out of the revenue share on the university side. I think there's probably somewhere in the middle on NIL, which you can still do NIL. You can still get the advertising contracts and everything else that maybe makes up a portion of the difference. I think part of that now is if you guarantee on the college level, okay, you're going to get this from our pool of the 22.5, the salary cap number. Let's use that. I don't know right now how it's going to be constructed on the NIL front to say you can't go above a certain amount. Now, I know there's the clearinghouse. I understand that, and they're going to review it. And I think a lot of schools are just going to tell the clearinghouse to go themselves, and we're going to pay it no matter what. So is it $5 million over 3 years? I bet it's close. Is it guaranteed? I bet it's not. And that's the way the NFL works. And that's what college football is now. All right, we'll hang out with you guys a little while longer on the broadcast tonight. Is Lubbock, Texas a college town, yes or no? Get in on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Get in on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. And on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media. Randy, I'd allocate 10% of the salary cap to book 32 degrees to play now that the Red Panda is on the IR list. Red Panda had a chance over many years calling college basketball to see Red Panda perform. Both beautiful and off-putting at the same time. We wish her nothing but the best. And she's older than I thought. I always thought she might be a little older than I thought. She's older than I thought. Michael, I think Lubbock is, but do you think Norman, Oklahoma City really is a college town? That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, first, I want to know why not. on why you think Lubbock is a college town. Because I lean towards Lubbock being a city now that has a university in it. In my travels around the country, going to what I consider pure college towns, I don't consider Lubbock a college town. Because anymore, not everything revolves around Tech. Now, Norman, Oklahoma City, really a college town. How do we break it apart? Is Norman far enough away from Bricktown, downtown Oklahoma City, Midwest City, Moore, all that stuff? Does it all roll in together? It's quasi. I think it's a college town that's nestled into a major metropolitan area. But there is a bubble. There is a bubble in Norman. I'll give them credit for that. That when you're in Norman, you're kind of in Norman. You're not just walking distance. You're not SMU in downtown Dallas. You're not TCU in downtown Fort Worth. You're still in Norman. Lubbock's always felt like a college town to me. Do you live in Lubbock, Wendy? Define a college town. What's a college town? I think Lubbock in 1960 was a college town. Lesser in 70, lesser in 80. I think every day it gets to be less of a college town and more of a 300,000 metro area that has a college, a university in it. But this is where we get into the idea. You guys have to tell me how you define a college town. I define it as the town doesn't exist without the college. Again, that's like a Manhattan, Kansas. The Big Eight, old Big Eight had, a couple in there. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Iowa State, and Ames. That's it. That's the whole reason the town exists. Now, again, 70 years ago, that's not the whole reason Lubbock existed, but it was the thing that separated Lubbock from being Amarillo or Plainview. That has changed over the years. You tell me. What is a college town? How do you define it? Good, bad, and ugly recaps. And I don't know if any of y'all got to see any extended viewing of Christian Anderson with Team Germany over this week and everything else. If you did, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I couldn't get it in real time or anything, so I just had to watch it, highlights and everything else. Wendy. People I meet in other places only know Lubbock is the home of TTU. Really? Fascinating. Really? They don't know it as the home of Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland? Maybe Alan Corbin? Buddy Holly? Waylon Jennings? Huh. That hurts a little bit. Got to work on my marketing. Got to get more out there. Other stuff today. This falls into the other stuff category before we get out of here tonight. The preseason all Big 12 teams were listed today. Biggest thing is Jacob Rodriguez, your linebacker, is the all Big 12 preseason defensive player of the year. Unless it happened in the border conference, and it probably didn't, I'm fairly certain this is the first time any Texas Tech football player has been named a conference preseason defensive player of the year. Gabe Rivera never did it. Zach Thomas never did it. Those would be your two best choices over the years. Nobody during the Leach era, and certainly nobody over the last several years. So, what does that mean? Well, means he's highly thought of. He's pretty damn good. You would much rather have a guy being highly thought of going into the year than not. But absolutely, I think this is the first time, unless it happened again in the border conference era, pre-Southwest Conference 1960, that any Texas Tech Red Raider has been named to an all-conference by the conference as your number one defensive player of the year. Joseph is out there on Facebook. Good, bad, and ugly recap of the weekend. We love doing that. The good, McCasland and Anderson. Bad, the crappy NASCAR race. Ugly. Ugly, Dodgers beat down. Lubbock is a thriving metropolitan area with a college. So I'm thinking it's not a college town. It's a metropolitan area with a university. The NASCAR race. I left it on and walked out of the room, and my wife didn't change channels. That's how bad it was. That she wasn't even paying attention enough to turn it off. Get off the streets of Chicago. Hate it. Also, TNT doesn't know how to broadcast a street race. That was painfully obvious. NASCAR, you really stink right now. You're not good. You're just not good. Randy J is on YouTube, and if you're not on YouTube, you should be. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. It's easy to get to. It's easy to find. It's free, and then you can share it with your friends and get us over 500 subscribers tonight. Who's going to be number 500? If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter X, you can get in. Randy J. Stillwater, Stephenville, and Manhattan are all college towns. Wow, he's dropping the Stillwater, which I haven't liked Stillwater. I've had some great times in Stillwater. Spent a week there one day. But he's lumping Stillwater and Stephenville right in there together. Oh, with the purple poo. Lubbock is on the verge of breaking away from being a college town. It doesn't have everything a large metro has. What does a large metro have that Lubbock doesn't have? Lubbock has bad traffic due to construction. Check. More restaurants than you can ever go to. Check. Bars, downtown area. Check. What? Seriously, I'm not being funny here, Randy. What does a large metro area have that Lubbock doesn't, other than if you want to go professional sports, which then becomes a drawdown on your college, and it hurts your ability in NIL. Pro sports towns with the universities in them have a depressed NIL market because their athletes are not the top dog, either SMU, TCU. What's Lubbock missing that bigger cities have? Most likely Lubbock already has it, says Alan. Yeah. Unless it's a Bonanza Steakhouse. And if really large metropolitan areas have a Bonanza Steakhouse, then I'm down with that. Because we don't have one. You know? Michael jumping in on our YouTube channel. Doesn't Texas Tech University give Lubbock its identity, culture, and economy, hallmark of a college town? All right, I'll stop right there. Medical, educational, and agriculture. All of those dwarf the Texas Tech economy. Now, Texas Tech football brings in, multi-million dollars a weekend, 6 times a year. But agriculture, medical, I guess if we want to go into the educational complex, we can do that and say it's Texas Tech. But the identity, the hallmark, no, it's still agriculture, and it always will be. When people ask where's Lubbock, I say Texas Tech, then they have an idea where it's at. I get that. I understand that. I mean, if I ask somebody, somebody's, oh, I'm from Elmira, New York. Where is that? Oh, it's up there north of West Point. We operate in college football terms. Chris, many people have this vision that Lubbock is still what it was 30 years ago. That's why I was making the point earlier that I think if you went to Tech and moved away, you view Lubbock as a college town. And when you come back, that everything you do revolves around the college. That if you actually live here, if you live in Lubbock, there you go. It's a different aspect. All right, this is funny. Well played, Jen. A zoo and public swimming pools. I could give a rat's ass about a zoo, but how can you not have public swimming pools? And maybe that's a sign of being a big city that you don't have them, right? We're just waiting for Six Flags and Wet n Wild to show up. Alan, Texas Tech adopted the identity of Lubbock, not the other way around, he says. Pump jack mentality and the West Texas tough talk predates Texas Tech. What you did there, I see. I applaud that. The zoo. Been to 2 zoos that I thought were worth pissing on. San Diego and Omaha Zoo was okay. San Diego, yeah, it's San Diego Zoo. For the most part, glad Lubbock doesn't have a zoo. Waste of time, resources, money, and I don't like seeing animals all caged up. I can walk out, sit on my porch tonight, sit here and listen to coyotes, and who knows what else going on outside. It's the who knows what else is going on outside that worries me. All right. I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me tonight. Everybody that's been a part of the discussion, I want you to share this on your social media feed and ask the question, with a link to the show. Is Texas Tech, or pardon me, is Lubbock a college town? Yes or no? Why or why not? And I understand the people that say it's a hardcore college town, and I understand the people that say it's not. Truth is, it's probably somewhere in the middle, maybe. I want that. I want the discussion about Texas Tech behaving just like an NFL team would with the salary cap, and that's a great thing. But I want you guys mainly to share it and invite your friends in and say, hey, this is kind of fun. We enjoy this. It's enjoyable. Get in tomorrow because we'll be here tomorrow, 6:30 to 7. We'll have a good time. Lubbock is special because it still gives a feeling of isolation, which makes fans, alumni, and community absolutely cult-like and rabid for Texas Tech, but Lubbock is not isolated anymore. I'll let you guys marinate on that one for a second. Amarillo has a much more vibrant downtown than Lubbock. Would disagree completely. Hodgetown, nice. Not more vibrant than Lubbock's downtown. To be a big city, we need more family activities. We have sports and a great music scene, and bars need something for people with younger kids. What more do you want with younger kids? What do you want them to do? And what are we talking about here, Jan? I'm being serious here. What are these magical things that little kids do that you can't do here? You got so many parks that can't mow them all. I already told you how I feel about the zoo, so I don't give a damn about that. The swimming pool thing I get. But all I hear is Lubbock is a great place to raise your kids, and that's why people live here. And then I hear we need more stuff for kids to do. Younger kids just want to go to the playground and eat popsicles. We're out of popsicles, so it's time to kick some butt. Of course, kids today, every activity is organized, structured, and otherwise. And Lubbock, Texas probably leads per capita in structured activity like I've never seen, from little league sports and baseball and softball and football and basketball and travel this and select that and everything else. Geez, when would they have time to do anything else? Don't get me started. Vacant lots, wiffle ball. Don't get me started. Your kids want to go to the playground. They don't know what a playground is. Amarillo has I-40 BFD. Oh, BFD. I'm just kidding. Born in Amarillo, lived in Amarillo, lived here in Lubbock, lived outside of Lubbock. I feel like I'm pretty qualified to have these conversations with just about anybody who wants to listen. Amarillo is actually vastly different from Lubbock. That's one of the reasons why there's been a rivalry over the decades. And then Amarillo got all bent out of shape in the 40s, 50s, and 60s when Lubbock started growing, in large part due to Texas Tech, other reasons as well. And Lubbock just didn't give a shit about Amarillo. And Amarillo, everything in their existence was about Lubbock. Their entire existence revolved around Amarillo High beating Lubbock High. And then it was WT, which the people in Amarillo really hated Canyon and really didn't like it. But WT was their last gasp hope in the early 60s. Hi there, Pedro Pete. And then it went downhill, you know. And Amarillo has been tilting at windmills ever since then. Did not know there is no rivalry between Lubbock and Amarillo. 100%. Can attest to that. Because Lubbock just doesn't pay attention to Amarillo. Timbo, Lubbock, perfect size college city, 300,000 metro. But the question is Lubbock a college town? Why or why not? Or is Lubbock a city, a metropolitan area with a university in it? At a certain point, we have to terminate the broadcast due to broadcast restrictions put upon us by the godless Canadians. You know who they are, and we're not going to talk about it on this show tonight, but you know who they are. Which is why I want you to continue the discussion tonight on social media, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Obviously, on YouTube, share this, subscribe, whether you are on Facebook or Twitter X, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Who's going to be the one who puts us magically over 500 subscribers? When that happens, manna falls from the heavens, or something like that, I've been told. Canyon has more charm than Amarillo. Would agree. Lived in Canyon for a lot of years. Michael is not far from a metropolitan area. I live outside in the country. I live in the suburbs of a town that has less than 300 people. And on Facebook, you guys can hit us up there, but mainly just share this, grow it, everything else. All right. I want to thank our great sponsors, Ultra Exteriors. They can handle your beat up roof, your demolished windows, get all those repaired, all your siding needs, everything else. And while you're doing that, you know, might even get your bathroom remodeled. Sideline provisions look as good as the Red Raiders. Why don't you? Check it out at Quarter4 in Lubbock. Online, click the links on our website. Easy to get to. And every communication brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. It's just that easy. It's just that simple some nights. We're back with you in the morning. Tuesday action coming your way at the